I would just my sort of addition to that would be I think the thing for anime for me is that if you look at American television, I make a distinction in a lot of reviews where it's episodic or it's not episodic. I don't even really have a name for not episodic, but most American television is episodic, where you could watch an episode and then it totally resets for the next episode. Even some of the best series like House and CSI and stuff like that, really popular series, follow mostly that
Yeah.
structure. And it just annoys me because it's like you can't get these coherent stories. You don't get the sort of Serial Experiments Lane or Paranoia Agents where it's just 13 episodes, a very coherent, almost like a stretched out movie storyline, all going at once.
Mhm.
And just I absolutely love that about anime, that they really just focus in on their storylines. And yes, there's shows like Lost and 24 and Prison Break which have continuous stories, but they tend to just have, you know, so much extra stuff. Like it's, just like a shonen series. They just stretch it as much as they can get their money's worth, and that just bugs me too
Mhm.
much. And yeah, I mean, there's anime has the ability to do stuff that TV can't do. They can do sci-fi and fantasy really well, whereas TV's budget, I tend to just not like watching fantasy or sci-fi because they look weird on television. For
Yeah.
for some part, like
What's that adage for heroes? It's normal people, budget stretching abilities.
that's pretty much Heroes in a nutshell. I actually do like Heroes though, so I shouldn't diss that one.
It was good.
It was good.
Uh,
Well, yeah, it was
I
good for the
didn't.
first season at least. I didn't. I watched a bit of the up to the third season and I just stopped. But yeah,
I
television.
have the second thing on my shelf and I haven't watched it yet.
Oh god. Um.
Uh,
Yeah. So next question. Are there any particular series or reviews that you did that the review itself, not necessarily the anime, but that review was really a turning point or had special meaning to you? Like, would you say was like a big or interesting at least review for you?
well, not intentionally that one of the reviews was kind of epic for me, but uh, well, two of them that came kind of back to back. Street Fighter the movie was kind of a turning point for me because it got really, really popular for some reason. I think it had about, I don't know, somewhere like 300 or 200,000 views or something on it.
Whoa. What the
Uh,
heck?
yeah, and I know, and like the rest of my videos only got a couple, into the thousands or so. Um, but that just got really popular for no apparent reason. Uh, I didn't think it was very good, but that was also the first one where I put the stinger on the end of it, uh, which was just a retarded stinger. But another one was I reviewed Kamen Rider the first, and then somebody linked me, "Hey, dude, they're talking about you on 4chan." I'm like, "They're talking about me on 4chan?
Oh God.
This is trouble." And basically, they all just were like, "Yeah, this guy's a jerk, blah blah blah. We're 4chan, a bunch of morons, derp 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 derp."
Yay,
Um,
4chan.
yeah, fuck those guys. Anyway, but it was kind of funny. Like they're like, "Yeah, well, like how dare he try to stand out from the rest of the crowd or something."
Oh God.
Whatever their mantra is anymore. It was like, yeah, but he does have a good point about the coherency thing and the plot. But anyway, uh, besides that, I think the turning point, one of the other points that came later was the Miyuki-chan and Wonderland review, because that was the first time I used the avatar thing, the little drawing thing that I did. It was messy and sloppy, but I didn't care, but because I had a face now. Uh,
Yeah.
and it was a couple of weeks after that that I got picked up.
Picked. What do you mean?
Oh,
Oh.
picked up by other website,
Okay.
and then it all went downhill from there.
Aw. No, it didn't.
Uh, uh, oh, one more. There was another. The last review that I put on YouTube exclusive, or quote unquote exclusively, was Bubblegum Crisis,
I
the
do. I.
original
I do remember
80s.
that one.
Um, somebody posted. I posted it up on Screw Attack on the Screw Attack board. I got raked over the coals for that one. Like, like seriously. it's a show from the 80s. Of course it hasn't aged well. Yes, and
Oh,
I mean went out on a limb. I said, you know what? The plot coherency is gone. The animation, goes from good to crap, you know, within the space of a few frames. And people are like, well, it was they put it out in a certain order, and they changed directors, and it's just like, you know what? By this point, you're making excuses that doesn't need to have excuses made for it. Uh, and they're like, well, yeah, you probably only watch Full Metal Alchemist and blah blah blah. Or, how dare you make fun of it for being 80s when it
oh
changed
God.
well, to be fair, yeah, it was the first real good cyberpunk uh, OVA series out there. It changed a lot for the medium. That doesn't mean it still holds up.
Yeah, no, I actually the ANN cast, they actually talked about that recently, and they said how not good it was, not aged well was exactly the term you used.
Yeah,
So, yeah, I mean, I actually haven't seen the show. I've had it on my want to watch list for a really long time, but yeah, that animation looks terrifying.
it's not a bad show. It feels like this is something that was very definitely done in the 80s.
Hmm.
Direction is all over the place, and it seems needlessly kind of grim and dark for the express purpose of just being grim and dark,
Yeah.
which I don't think is a good thing.
No, I could agree with that. Although almost all my favorite series are, yeah, I've realized I have a little bit of a bias towards reviewing super dark and depressing series. After I was trying to recommend my friend a happy series, and I'm like, yeah, I've got nothing in my top 15. Like not one. Got like Torador is probably the closest, but even that has like a lot of depressing moments in it. Yeah. So uh, rounding up here, besides anime, what other things are you involved with? Like, what's your other major hobbies?
Well, I'm a writer,
Mm-hmm.
an artist. I mean, I do all my little avatar stuff by myself.
Yep.
Um, I mean,
Which are adorable, by the way.
I'm into gaming. I've been trying to write a lot of different things over the years. I worked in some sci-fi stuff. I did some fantasy novelizing. Um, I've been working on this 1930s pulp hero. If you've gone to the site in the last couple of months, we put a radio drama up, and that's what that's the character I've been working on for nigh on 2 years now.
Wow.
Uh, God, I'm getting old. But it just amuses me that I've been working on this kind of stuff for, let's say, I started one novel in high school and I finished it like 2 years ago. And like the other one I've been working on since then. And like I've had all these things on the back burner that I haven't even touched basically since I've started doing these reviews. But
Yeah.
I like a good sci-fi movie or fantasy movie, and I play lots of video games. And then in the meantime, I'm also a college student, so woohoo!
Yeah. So you're in college right now then? I was about to
Yeah.
ask what you did, but okay. No, yeah, just out of curiosity, I'm a huge sci-fi movie fan. Not so much fantasy movie fan, but sci-fi at least. What's some of your favorites?
Oh, of
Just out of
course, I
curiosity.
like. Star Wars, obviously.
Sure.
Um, I'm kind of becoming a little bit bigger fan of Star Trek lately.
Mm-hmm.
Um, though I find it somewhat boring, and
Which one?
the original kind of dragged on for me. But I mean, that's to be expected because they didn't know what the hell they were doing.
Yeah.
Uh, I tried watching Star Trek Generations a little while ago, and it's just like, oh, hey, this movie sucks. But well, the new Star Trek movie was pretty epic. I like a lot of comic book based sci-fi stuff. Iron Man, Iron Man 2,
Mm-hmm.
very good.
Yeah, because for me, I really like, I don't know, what I'd call traditional sci-fi. So sci-fi to me always has like a sort of deeper point that they're trying to say. For me, I hate to say this, but the Star Wars movies, for example, they run a lot like um, fantasy novels where you have a character who is going on a journey. They have a mentor. They get better at what they do. They have to go fight the evil villain and defeat them, right?
Yeah.
Whereas I
Typical hero quest.
yeah, the that sort of idea. And I
Uh-huh.
mean, yeah, that idea is it's really well done in Star Wars. I'm not denying it. It's a really good movie, all of them, or at least the original three. But yeah, to me, I watched a lot of sci-fi's. Like some of my favorites are Blade Runner,
Mhm.
Dark City. I don't know if you've heard of that one. Uh,
Yes, I've seen Dark City. I like to call that one Mage the Ascension, the movie.
oh God.